Good morning, it's travel day. Today we are actually only moving about 25 feet because we're just moving to another lot, but we've done the entire process like we usually would because I want to be able to give you guys all the information so you could see exactly what a travel day usually looks like for us. You and I are going to go ahead and do the entire interior, so I'm going to show you all the processes interior, then we'll head outside to hook up the RV and head out, but I'm not going to show you the sewer hookups, the draining of the tanks or the sewer like closing or the Starlink or any of that. You can check that on another video of ours, but we're going to go through the entire interior close-up step. So let's go. So step one, I'm putting everything away, securing all the items that are currently out, putting them away. When you travel on travel day, you need to ensure that you're locking up all of your stuff. So anything that's out like hand soaps, decor, anything like that needs to be put away because as soon as the RV starts moving, nothing can be hidden at that point. So we try to secure everything. Any decor and things like that are already stuck down with museum putty, so I do not have to move them. They completely stay put where they are, but things like hand soaps and stuff that I move around to like wash and clean, that kind of stuff needs to be locked up. On the night before travel day, we try to get rid of at least a few things off the list. Anything that's going to get in my way, like I put the couch away. The main reason we put the couch away and the one reason we don't like it as well. We put it away because it gives us a lot more space around the house. And that's one of the reasons we actually really don't like this couch. It takes a lot of effort to actually put it away, number one. And number two, it just takes up a ton of space in the house. We've tried the other configurations, and if you haven't seen it, double check out the tour. I will link it in the description below and the little like button up on the screen. But it's just one of those things that we're not super fond of, and I know a lot of people are really impressed by the U-shaped couch, but it's just truly one of those things. I'll be honest with you, it's not really my favorite thing. When you are stacking your couch cushions on any of these sorts of furnitures, you need to make sure you do not put one of these Velcro sorts of pieces up against one of the vinyls. So I would not want to put it facing this side. This will absolutely rip the vinyl and damage it over time. So keeping the fabric against fabric or the backside to the backside, any places where there's Velcro should be touching each other and not any of the beautiful pieces of your furniture that will be seen by everyone else. On travel day, I always like to wipe down anything wet. Since we're only going a few feet, I'm not going to be super worried. But sometimes when you're traveling, the water will actually move around, like in the sink and the shower, especially in the treads of the shower. So you want to ensure that you are drying these spaces so that they're not running water all over, because when you park at your next location, you're going to be freaking out thinking something leaked. And this just eliminates any sort of problem with that. Plus, it also ensures that you know you're not leaking. Big Duke will also need put away, but he's got his own step, so we'll get to that. I'm just washing all the dishes and drying them because I don't want to have anything be shaking around while we're traveling. Make sure before your partner or yourself dumps your tanks, you are washing the dishes. I've made that mistake where Chase has already turned the water off and started dumping, and then we just have a tank full of stuff that he has to rehook up and dump before we travel. My bad.
Chickadee, chickadee, chickadee. Hi, buddy. Are we traveling today?
Yes, we are. So one thing I was really worried about when we were traveling was like where our dishes would go and how they would transition during, traveling. I found a couple of things. You want to get the right kind of dishes. We got all Corelle dishes. They're like considered unbreakable. They can shift and like shake, but you don't really have to do anything super specific. I just stack our dishes in there, like our plates and our bowls. I turn the bowls upside down so that the larger surface is at the bottom. So I've got those little sticky grippy things that kind of keep all the items that are on the shelves in place. Another note is where you actually want to put things. Depending on where your cabinets are, it's best to keep things that you might not want to break, like glasses and stuff. I do put them on that side of the RV because when the RV drives and shifts forward and backward, if you were to take an abrupt stop and things were continuing propelling forward, everything will go forward. The items will not come back out of the cabin. These, the same concept. I've got this back side here and the front side here. So depending on which direction, if you were to take an abrupt stop or jolt forward, they're both secured on either side. So just thinking about that when you're putting your actual items away and trying to decipher like where things should go, just think about how the RV is going to move, how it's going to shift, and where you put your breakable items. On top of that, in our step 2, we'll be securing everything. So we'll talk about that in just one second. Okay, now that all the items are put away, we're going to go ahead and start locking up furniture and cabinets. So this is a really important step. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't want things to go flying around. So you want to ensure that you're locking up any cabinets. This is probably an overstep. I don't probably need to be doing every cabinet, but I like to do this. I think it's a security purpose for us. Again, we're only moving like 30 feet, so it doesn't really matter. But usually travel days, I lock them up as an extra security caution. I don't know. And we have these pull down cabinets. And I'm not going to lie, the silverware one flies out every time we travel. So we've come up with a few different ways to lock it. So I'm going to show you. I can't remember. I really can't remember. What the heck? That's not right, because then they'll still flop open. Chase? Can you help me for a second? I can't. How did we lock these cabinets? Why can't I remember this? You did something special so that these didn't go flying.
Go ahead, put that back on.
Okay, so we put the smaller one here. This was the only way we could find that this thing doesn't go flying, and we put one on both sides because this thing is pretty much heavy that it falls out every single time. So for these pull-out cabinets, they have a lock on the bottom, and then you always want to secure something. So if your RV didn't come with one of these, drill a hole in and put it in there, because these cabinets are known to go flying during travel, and problem being they're super heavy and they will damage your floor, and they will fall out and break entirely. So now they can't open.
If it does come flying out, it actually will put so much pressure on those bottom racks that it will rip it up from the floor.
Okay, so before you lock up your refrigerator, make sure to get your snacks out. Make a lunch for yourself on travel day. That is my number one tip for you. Don't travel anywhere hungry. You will be grumpy. You will end up in a divorce. It's not fun. Nobody wants that. So eat a snack. Filling your body with fuel, eating something, and make sure you are packing a snack, because it's important that. And use the bathroom before you go. It's like your mom always asked before you got in the car. Okay, that'll keep the refrigerator closed. Got another one of these little bad man pajamas in here. Make sure they're closed. The most important lockup of the entire RV is your shower door. If you have one of these insane glass shower doors that are, we all know how I feel about them, you need to lock it up. It's so important. I have seen so many of these broken. We are actually replacing our shower door next week, so make sure to stay tuned for that video. But in the meantime, this thing is crap. It's not secure. So we take a bungee, go around and under the door handle, around the whole shower, and then up and over on the other side. This is going to secure this door, so if this thing pops open, this does not go flying and crack. We have seen way too many of these break and crack. The next thing is you can actually put pool noodles on the floor, bath mats, dog beds in between here, anything in here. This is the most insane design. I don't know why anybody makes these doors, but this is my number one complaint over the couch. Or secure strap. The TV.
Already got it.
Oh my God. Okay, Chase locked the TV. Good job. Thanks, Chase. Chase is going to work in the garage a little bit. He put away all of his computer stuff. We just lay things on the bed and a few other things. The garage, that includes the patio for us, only because we have a toy hauler. So we want to ensure that we're doing that, and we're flattening the garage couches, putting the pins in anything in the HappiJac and anything of those sorts of things. So once you've put your HappiJac system up, you want to go ahead and ensure that these pins are in place. So you just slide them in, and you want to put them underneath any of the couches, desks, things like that. This is a security purpose should anything go wrong in the track system while you are bumping around in your RV, driving down the street. This will secure anything above, keeping the weight up there and not having it fly all the way down to the floor. In your toy hauler, you're going to have one of these little vents on travel day. We like to vent these. This is really good, especially if you are actually traveling with toys like motorcycles and things like that. This gives a little bit of circulation in here, and there's one up at the top so you can get cross circulation. We always open these if we'll be traveling with some. Some people don't, but we find it to be a good tip. Okay, so the next on our list is Chase is going to go up on the roof. He's going to blow out all the awnings, make sure there's nothing on them. Before you take your slides in, you want to ensure that there's nothing on top of. We have awnings on top of our slide outs. That's really the awnings I'm talking about. But if you have regular awnings too, anything that you're going to be sliding in, so you want to dust off the top of your slides. He's just going to use the leaf blower, clean off the top of our slides, and anything that could still be out. This is a really important step because you don't want to pull that in. While Chase is up here, he's go ahead and take down the Starlink and just move all that so we can get it situated and locked up in the garage. That also goes into our next step, which is the floors inside. It's really important that we clean underneath the slides before we travel. So I always dust and then vacuum under the slides and the entire floor. When those slides are coming in, you do not want them to have rocks or small pebbles or anything that's stuck underneath the slide, because as they come in, they're going to damage the floor and it can actually damage the system that brings your slide outs in. So you do not want to be doing that. So it's really, really important that you clean under the slide outs before you move any of the slides in. And we've had some people who've had to have their slide outs replaced, and they are not cheap. So this is a really simple and easy tip to just get them clean and make sure they are all set. So on travel day, I try to do this last. I usually take Duke out first so there's no extra hair or things, but I go ahead and run my dustpan and my broom. Chase has already locked up my broom in the back closet, so I can't get to it. But so I'm just gonna use my dustpan today and then my vacuum. But this is a great time to get all the way under. Lift the slides, make sure you're moving anything out and cleaning them. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum all of the floors after I've done the slide outs. When I'm cleaning under the slides and the floors, I like to just also use this time to like pick up the stairs, clean under it. There's usually rocks and stuff from our shoes here, so I just don't want any of that in our slides, so I try to. All right, now that all the slides are clean, we are on to putting Dookie in the car. Come on, big boy. Let's go. Come on, Duke. Come on, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, wait. Okay, so we like to put Duke away before we do slides and all that because it's easier. It's actually easier to put Duke away before I start doing the floors, because the less Duke is in the way, and I mean that in the nicest way, he just likes to wander around. This is also something we've learned that a lot of people who travel with children say. This is a good time to get everybody out. Obviously turn the air conditioning on the car, but ready? Come on. Up. You don't ride in the front seat. There you go. Good boy. We have our full upstairs, which we love. I will link those in the description below, as well as if you have a big dog or a small dog and you just don't want to lift them. And then we're going to go ahead and turn the car on and get Duke kind of all situated. It's a little bit easier. Like I said, we can actually move around inside the RV right now, and we can do the slide outs without worrying about getting Duke in the way, getting hurt, or him running away. Okay, and if you didn't know this car hack, like right now it's beautiful outside in Florida, so we're just going to open the windows. Not all cars have this, but you do have to turn the feature on within your car. We have a Chevy Silverado. I'll show you guys how to turn the setting on later. If you are interested, I can put it in the description below, but all you have to do is click unlock twice and hold it down on the third, and the system will automatically open all of the windows. So all 4 windows just went down, so Dookie can enjoy some air while we pull the slides in. On travel day, it's a good idea just to close all of your windows. You don't want to have anything sticking out on your RV, so you want to have everything flush. And I like to close the blinds because if it is warm out, I want to keep the inside as cool as I can, so when I arrive at my location, I'm actually able to cool it down with the air conditioning quicker so it's not overly hot, or the same if it was cold outside and I wanted to keep the heat in. It's just a good practice. Then in your bathroom and in your kitchen, you want to make sure that you close these vents and turn off any of these fans. This is, again, same concept as the windows. You just want to make sure that everything is flush. You don't want anything hanging off or sticking up when you're driving under bridges and things like that. All right, everything is all locked up, ready to go. The whole house has been packed up, aside from my water and my phone that I'm taking with me. Everything in here is ready to rock and roll. The stuff stays put. It's all museum puttied down, so it's good. The only thing I like to do is I close this door to the garage. Make sure you vent your windows on the other side, so opening your windows or using the vent on the other side. I lock this door, but I'm not going to do it until I have completed all the slides. And this door I push open and it locks all the way in here. That's its most secure position. So let's go ahead and get the slides in. Okay, before we do our slides, Chase and I are putting on our walkie-talkies. We just got these. We're super excited about them. First off, Chase has just said to me he feels like a kid again. The tip about getting one of these, and the reason we do this instead of our phones, some places don't have good phone service. So if you're like in the middle of the wilderness or whatever, and you're trying to call each other, it's not always gonna work. So we decided to get these. Plus, we're a lot of times using phone and cameras to film for you guys. So this is also an easier way for us to be able to do that. And we got the little microphone thing. Okay, so definitely positive. I will link them below as well. If you're looking for walkie-talkies, they have the little piece so we can walk and talk, because you're going to see us use them in this step as well as when we actually park and pull away. Let's go. All right, we are ready for the next step, which is putting our slides in. Slide 1 is the single guy, meaning it's the refrigerator. Slide 2, the couch. Slide 3 coming in. Before I take this slide in, I always like to make sure I didn't miss anything on the floor because the bedding covers it a lot and I am so afraid that I'll just destroy it. It's also good to note when you're taking your slides in, when you're purchasing your RV in general, just making sure that you know which slides you can, or what sections of your house you can actually access when the slides are in. For example, our bed is a bed that is allowed to be slept on. It's on one of those slide outs that you can actually sleep on it with the slides in, which is really important for us for pit stops. If it's something you're looking for, this is a really important thing to check out. Also to note, you want to make sure you can access your bathroom and your refrigerator. Our bathroom and our bedroom can be fully accessed, and we have a slide out that we are actually able to sleep out. So this is really important if you need to stop at a pit stop overnight. And our refrigerator can be reached. You cannot walk on the slide, but you can walk on this little skinny thing right next to it. So you can actually access it. And then behind the cabinet, there's an entire section you can actually stand. So if you needed to go get something to eat, you can stop and stand there. Obviously, you could take your slide outside at certain places, but it's just something to note, especially if you plan to do pit stops. Okay, so my next step is, now that everything inside is done, I am in charge of the stairs. Flip the stairs up. So we have some of these stairs that actually turn, so you can shake off all the dirt. And I put on these little covers so that Duke's feet don't get overly hot. And also it just keeps, I think, a little bit cleaner and nicer. I also like to just use this and just shake off anything that might be in like the little carpets. You can actually take these right off and wash them. I'll link them as well in the description below if you're interested in them. This is the next reason I keep my mini broom and vacuum right here, is because when I go to take the stairs up, I'm about to show you how much dirt comes out, but this is the easiest concept for me because I can just reach them when I'm done. All right, I forgot to take the little Croc shoes off. If you've ever seen, we have little Croc shoes on the bottom of our stairs, but they are full of dirt and I forgot to dump them. So, okay, so like I said, the reason I keep my little mini vacuum and this thing out is when I'm done, there is always dirt and stuff that gets, okay, and then that way I can just slide them right back in there and it makes my life way easier. Okay, so once I have put the stairs away and the door locked away, we like to ensure that we lock up all these exterior cabinets as well. In the next step, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the water heater, the propane, and anything that Chase may not have already turned off. I do leave the power plugged in. It makes it easier to do our automated leveling and roll up our wires when we're all done. So this makes it a little bit easier for us. So we always leave it on before we connect it to the truck. All right, next step is to actually back the truck up into the hitch and get it ready to attach. Hopefully the keys are in the car. Ah, crap, keys are not in the car. Okay, so usually I do this with Chase, but before I back the truck up, I am going to click hitch height on our RV and get the hitch upright. So this is gonna let me, and it's gonna bring the front of this hitch up so that we can drive the truck into it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
All right, next is to hook up the chains and all this before you unhook it from your truck. This is just a safety measure. Should it just roll away, this is one of those things we want to do. So I'm hooking up to power right now too, which will enable us to unplug the power from the actual wall. All right, next up is to lift all the jacks. So all the jacks need to be lifted, which is basically just the front ones right now. And blocks stay on until you move forward, yeah. All right, we're lifting her onto the truck. Oh, I always forget how heavy she is. All right, so here we go. Okay, jacks are up. All right, next step is to roll up our power cords. So like I said, we leave this open until we are ready to lock this up because it's easier to use the power from the park than it is to use power from your truck. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap the power cord up and move you away from Chase's butt. Nope, he just moved his butt, so. All right. Okay, this is the time when our next step would be to check all of the doors and locks and just make sure everything is locked, closed, and do one quick walk around before we take the blocks off and start moving. So good timing to check that your patio door is locked, that your stairs are up, your doors are locked, and all of these small things are also locked. So they would actually be locked, but we're only driving 3 feet. Next, we want to test our brake lights. So we just did that without showing you guys, sorry. But you want to make sure you do a test of that. It's really important. All right, next up, blocks. All right. All right, next step is to go. Let's do it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, guys. We really appreciate you guys tuning in to check out how we pack up our RV on travel days. And this is just, remember, our system. Other people may have different processes, more things that they do or less things that they do. This is also based on the items that are inside your RV or around your RV, on the outside, whatever. So this is just our process. We appreciate you guys checking it out, and let us know in the comments if you have any kind of questions. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Travel Reimagined for more life on the road, RV tips, and travel hacks. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
Let's hit the road, Jack.